Hi kids. This is the second part of the July greenhouse update. We went ahead and did a part one, but then some stuff had come up. So this is actually taking place on August 2nd. I try to do an update at the end of the month just so I can keep kind of a video diary of what's going on with the Aquaponics greenhouse and a few experiments that we have rolling on. So hi to the kids out there, love you guys, and let's see what we've done to the greenhouse so far. All right? Love you. We do have some 12-inch fans running in here all the time. We've had some pretty severe heat. Actually had 111 degrees here and did suffer some heat damage to some of the plants. I'll show you here. Let's take a look at the watermelon here. He's the one that suffered the heat damage. It got to 109 degrees here. There we go. That's one of the watermelons right there. Now he's still alive, so we'll have to wait and see how he does. But he definitely wilted. As soon as we got 109 for about 4 hours in the greenhouse, he started wilting pretty good. And the goji berry didn't like that too much either. We were using our swamp cooler, but it just wasn't enough. Had some thunderstorm activity going on, and we'll see if he comes back. He's been like that for about 4 days, a couple days now actually, not that long. So we'll see. And in part one of the video I showed you that I moved him into rather a deep water culture versus the hydroponics, and he went crazy in it until the heat got him. So this is the new grow bed. I'll try to explain in a little bit more detail. We've added a few plants to it. We did have some ants come in and start taking pieces of the plants off, so we had to add some diatomaceous earth. Boy, they came overnight too, and I couldn't figure out what we had. I thought we had caterpillars, but I had BT in here and never could find any caterpillars, and came out one night and it was the little tiniest ants, and they were shredding. So we put some hot shot down and some DE, and hopefully that'll go away. So what kind of bed did we put in here? Kind of a hybrid bed. You can see here how I've braced it, and what it is it's just a regular flood and drain grow bed that I've modified with 1 1/8" tubing, a bulkhead fitting, and I've modified it so that it can be a top fed drip system, or I can shut the drip system down, which is fed from the main aquaponics system. You can see the piping here. We'll go around these barrels full of water and back to the main tank. This is at about 60 gallons of water capacity to the system. But once again, it could be a top fed drip system, as you can see here. It's nice and dripping. And the zucchini at first didn't like it, and then he liked it a lot. I have these valves here, as you can see. That's just to protect for algae. These valves here are always on, so I could use the nutrient film technique and just let these run and shut down the drippers, the top feed. But the seeds seem to germinate real well with the top feed. And what I've done also to the system is added a siphon. So now you're looking at the bell siphon which I learned an important lesson. I did a while back, but getting this one adjusted was interesting. The standpipe here is just 3/4 inch, and it's literally only 1.5 inches above the bottom of this grow bed. The reason for that is the air gap in the main bell siphon body there. You can see it starting to work now. As it floats up, it creates enough of a vacuum because of the distance the drain has to go to the sump tank that it'll engage and start working. You can see it now. It'll start working real quick here. Now, if the bell siphon is too high above the standpipe, I notice that the level before the siphon engages goes way up. For instance, there's a bell siphon there, and if you put that in here, it'll flood this whole tank before it engages. Oh, there it went, and it is working. So it is now. And the cycle on this grow bed is really quick. It's like 7 minutes full cycle. So it runs really quick versus the larger 75-gallon grow beds that are 14 inches deep. This one's only 9 inches deep. So now that that's almost drained, I'm going to break it so you can see the difference in the standpipe. Take a look here. That is it. The water level comes right up to here before it engages. It actually floats up 1 inch and then it engages. And you can see that the standpipe is pretty tiny. That's it. So with that, I get about 7 inches of fill. Water level 7 inches, which is about 1 inch, 1.5 inches below my hydroton here, and then it works. It starts sucking it out very, very rapidly. I might want to shorten up my bell siphons in the larger tanks to get that cycle down, because it cycles right now between 12 and 18 minutes to fill, to completely flood and drain the system. Well, there you go, and we'll fill that back up. So we got some air going in here on an air stone. And then we got our water here. A couple holes drilled inside, and he took off until it got really hot. He really did well. I was really surprised how well he did. This particular watermelon, the other one, showed up overnight practically. And that 109, 107, 104 degree temperature inside the greenhouse really did him in, but he might come back. Everything else seems to survive real well. Peppers did extremely well, as you can see here. The Anaheims and the jalapenos did well. Oregano did well. Tomatoes did really well. I've pulled off about 5 bushels of early girl tomatoes here. The one issue I do have, and you can see right here, is in the heat. Let's see if I can get you there. In the heat, these tomatoes tend to split open. The surface gets hot, steam develops, and they split. Tomatoes are still really delicious. It's just it's real tough here in the Mohave Desert to keep the greenhouse cool. Even though we've put up the reflective bubble wrap, we might have to do a little bit something different next year. Here's our black-eyed peas. The mandarin orange seems to be taking off in the heat. And our Brussels sprouts, well, they're looking okay. Keep having some inchworm problems, but the BT takes care of them like right now. So once a week we're throwing some BT on there. Caterpillar Killer is the brand, I think. It takes them right out. Gonna have to plant some more onions. We already harvested onions. The green onions did real well. Lettuce does horrible in the heat, just so you know. This is what you get. corn. We had harvested 30 ears of corn out of here early in May, and we replanted just to see what they do. Only have one full ear right here, maybe two. The rest of it not doing as well. I'm not sure what's going on there. Over to our fishes. Let's see how they're doing. Come here, fishes. How are you guys doing? Huh? Doing alright? Got something for you. You gotta show yourselves. Come on, you guys. Show yourselves. Come here. Come here. We added a automatic fish feeder. You can see here. I got the tiny 1mm sinking pellets. It seems to really like those. I'm adding a 1/2 ounce twice a day right now, possibly 3/4 ounce twice a day. With the 60 or so fish in here, we're at about 3 ounces of total food, 3.5 ounces of food per day. Our nitrate levels are right around 40. Nitrites, 0. Ammonia is around 0.25 to 0.30. And the pH is running an even 6.869. Our water is very hard here in the Mohave Desert, so when I add water to the tank twice a week, about 40 gallons, the pH of the water coming out of the dechlorinator is right around 7.8. So that brings us right around 7.1, 7.2 every time we have to add water. So that's what we end up having in the greenhouse. I'll update you guys next month. Until then, part 1 and part 2 for the July 2012 aquaponic greenhouse update. See you next time, kids. Bye.